Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host here, Chantele Francis, here with my lovely co-host today. I have Nicole. Say hello to the people, Nicole.
Hello, people.
So if this is your first time on Reality Realness, well then welcome. Make sure you subscribe right down below. This channel is all about reality TV and the gossip that goes on with it. So what we decided to do today is something special. We're going to start a new segment, hopefully to be continuing on a weekly basis, where we delve into maybe our psychic side of things, looking at the astrological makeup of these house guests, as well as maybe some tarot predictions that we might have. And so we're just going to see what the cards have to say about each of these players, and we're just going to go from there. We're going to let the cards dictate what this podcast is about today. So Nicole, just to let everybody know what's going on, what is your relationship with Big Brother in general, and then also with spirituality and psychicness? Tell it all.
Well, I've definitely been in a very abusive relationship with Big Brother since season 1 when I was 10 years old. So I'm 31 now. And since then, you know, I've gone through growing up, college, but it's always been Big Brother that's kind of kept me stable. I am born and raised in the San Francisco Bay Area, but recently moved to Salem, Massachusetts to get into my witchy side.
Ooh.
Exactly, to kind of learn more. It's kind of hard in the Bay Area to do that. I'm also a 3-time descendant of the Salem witch trials. So the history of Salem has always really sparked my interest. I've studied it for a long time, and now I'm living here, and it's awesome. I'm a wedding planner by trade, but now that I'm living here, I'm actually working in one of the witchcraft shops, selling magic to people every single day. And just learning a lot, being around it, and going home and watching live feeds until like 3 a.m.
And being very active on Twitter. Definitely.
I am the one who got Raven to say happy birthday to Keisha. That's me.
This is that Nicole, guys. This is her, the legend. Nicole is the one that got, unbeknownst to her, Raven to say happy birthday to Keisha on her birthday. Like, praise.
It was so painful that, because a part of me was like, does she get it? And I'm like, she totally doesn't. She
doesn't get it.
Felt bad because she went off Cameo for a couple weeks. I thought I broke her, but
I don't think you broke her. I think she's okay. I think she might have gotten embarrassed when maybe people told her after what had happened, but I think she's okay. I think it's not that. I think it was, yes, it was a prank, we'll say, but I think it was harmless. I don't think that you meant any ill will. You just thought it'd be funny if she picked up on or not.
Never ill will. If anything, I thought she would know and go along with it, because I wrote it's from Stans. She never brought that up, so I don't know. But yes, Raven, if you're watching, I know you are, because you are a big Reality Realness with 3 S's fan. So I just want to apologize to you right here. I'm sorry.
Ooh, you heard it here first. So I thought to make it more, we'll say, fun, is to not maybe use super traditional tarot/oracle cards. I thought we'd use maybe just a little bit more fun ones. So I'm going to show the ones that I'm going to use. I'm not going to use tarot format. I'm going to use the Rebel deck. So the Rebel deck, it's kind of, it says tarot with attitude. They're not really tarot cards. I'd say they're more oracle cards, or, you know, they say it has 0 filter, 0 Fs. It's a real word. And all fun. So it's a little bit more crass. It's a little bit more to the point. It's not the traditional tarot makeup. And the cards that you were going to use, Nicole, are which ones?
One of my favorite decks, the Gummy Bear Tarot. This will be the back of them. And then we have the joy of, oh my god, this actually looks like night 1 of Big Brother when they all take their cheers.
Wait, they didn't even give them champagne this year. Oh my God, Four of Cups, so cute. Now,
Okay. So they're
I know
bears.
tarot quite well. Nicole is studying tarot, so we're basically going to look at the cards and give our what these cards in house and their astrological signs, what it all means. We're going to put it all together. Perfect. Okay, so who do you want to start with? We're going to maybe start with the most recent house guest, since they're most known to people. We're into that?
Yeah.
Okay, so then first up would be,
David.
do you want to go David or do you want to go Nicole? David?
David.
Okay.
Poor David.
Let's get. So David, he's a Capricorn. Capricorns tend to be, you know, very hardworking. They tend to be very loyal. They tend to be like the managers. Like they if you want things to get done, you want to go to a Capricorn because they will work hard and they won't stop working until it's done. So I haven't really seen this kind of trait yet in David. It could be because he's a little bit out of his league, in my opinion, because he's playing with people that have played multiple times. Like they know the game a lot better than he does. So maybe his natural Capricorn tendencies are not coming through. What do you think about him being a Capricorn?
Capricorns are always very practical as well. And I feel we saw David in last season being very practical with things. Although it was Camp Comeback, he was aware, he was trying to get others to understand what was actually happening around them by being practical and realistic, which is another Capricorn side trait, and being disciplined. That's very much the way he acts with his game, with how he treats others, etc.
He is quite disciplined, actually, and he's very mild-tempered, we'll say. He was a little bit upset yesterday. If you guys watch the live feeds, should we have spoilers in this?
Spoiler!
No, I'm not gonna do it. But he did get upset yesterday, and he was a little bit emotional, and so I think that's just because of the climate of the house. I don't think that it's really in his nature to be super emotional, even though he did that whole cry on command thing with Ika last season in his interview. I don't think he's an emotional guy.
No, I don't think he is either, and that's very Capricorn, though.
Exactly. And so the card that I got is very interesting. Okay. It says, your body is pissed at you. Get the fuck outside. Move your ass.
Oh my God.
Do you know what, though?
Isn't he a have-not right now?
A, he's a have-not. B, though, if I remember correctly, in his package, his first season, he talked about how he lost a lot of weight and that he had changed his neck and he started meditating and stuff like that. And so I'm wondering if this is kind of advice to him. Get his body moving, start circulating that energy that he's getting kind of stagnant within the house, and he's not really picking up things as well as he was before. So, this could also be saying like he needs to win still kind of spoilery, but like maybe he needs to win the next competition. He needs to get moving. He needs to become more so of a physical competitor and get that energy moving. Boom.
And the card I got is gonna be Gummy Bear's strengths, which is exactly what he needs being in his position this season. I mean, obviously this means so much more with, it has blue mountains in the background, which shows some emotion behind him. And he's fighting the stronger area with, a protection. It's white, it's protection. He's trying to protect himself and fight, but he has emotion hiding in the background. Is how I'm interpreting this card.
Well, and also, like, when I think of that card, too, I think of taming the beast within. Mm-hmm. And I think that he's doing that maybe too much right now. I think he needs to come out. I think he needs to roar a bit more. I think that he needs to, kind of figure out his placing within the house and like start using it. So I think both of these cards are saying that he needs to start playing the game. He needs to stop being the victim of the game. He needs to start being a little more actionary, and he needs to start moving forward more in having his agenda being what is carried out, as opposed to him being, just taken along for the ride because he's inexperienced.
And also getting over those emotions he's keeping in the background with the happiness, which is yellow. He needs to kind of get over the emotions of last season and move forward.
Absolutely.
He needs to, like you're saying,
move forward. Now, what do you think, though, with these cards and him being a Capricorn with his possibility of winning the season?
I don't think he has a chance. It's I wish he did, because what a comeback story.
Well, and also those mountains are so far away from him, and mountains also meaning attaining, success or like moving up. Yeah, exactly. And so those mountains are quite far away from him for just looking at the picture there. And so it's kind of like he's battling right now, his inner strength and, the good versus evil, all that stuff. And he's fighting that fight as opposed to like climbing that mountain. So right now, I do not feel, I agree with you, that he is in contention of winning this game.
Yeah, I wish he was, but he has a lot going on in his head. That's pretty much what I got.
He does. Okay, so let me write down what he got, just so we can look back at this. So we'll look back at this in the future and see what is going on. Get the F outside. Okay, let's go next up. We got Nicole Anderson.
Anthony.
Anthony. Nicole Anthony.
Not to be confused with Pamela Anderson. Okay, let's see.
She's also a Capricorn, which is very interesting, I would say.
However, I see them as very different people.
You see them very what?
As very different people.
Absolutely. And I'm just seeing... Andrew was saying that if we have like BMX or anything open, that it will cut out. So I'm going to close that just in case that's a true thing. Okay.
Andrew watching right now?
He's not watching right now. This is pre-recorded, but no, I'm not going to edit anything out. So yeah, you said, what about Nicole?
David and Nicole are very different people, but what they do have in common is that they're realistic and stable. They have good reads on things.
They can.
It's just getting people to listen to them, and that's not always the best Capricorn trait, because they're not that Taurus that get me.
Okay, so the card that I pulled for her was, you are giving away your power. You are a badass. Act like it. And that's 100% what I would want to be saying to Nicole. She is acting like a victim, and so is kind of David as well right now. They're just both kind of like, oh, woe is me, and everybody's against. Like, that's not really what's going on, guys. Like, she's the same sign as Janelle. She can be a badass.
She has to have faith in herself.
Exactly, and so she needs. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, part of me wonders what her moon sign is. We totally should have looked this up. Because
I didn't see anybody's like birth time, so it'd be kind of hard.
No, it's so
I guess we could have
called their parents.
So I just want to do a little deep dive about your child.
What time?
Okay, what do you got?
Push them out. Okay. So I'm going to cut the deck as many times as you tell me, and then I'm going to take the top one. So
cool.
How many times do you want me to cut it?
3.
Okay. I knew you were going to say that. 1, 2, 3. 2 Pentacles.
Okay. So whenever I think of 2 of Pentacles, I think of balance. getting things kind of level. And right now, I think she needs to get her emotions, because you can see those emotions are rocky in the background with that ship that's going up and down, the water in the back. So her emotions are unsettled, but she's trying to balance that out with her stability as being a Capricorn. She's earthy. And so I think that she is focusing more so on her emotions right now than having her head in the game. She's giving away her power. Sorry,
I actually tweeted something about this earlier with how she, it was getting upsetting to me how she's on All Stars and all she was doing was crying after getting on the block. But then I kind of self-reflected. I was like, of course, she went through hell and fire last season with really not so cool people. She's only a year out. She's dealing with these emotions. Like, she doesn't know if she's going to sink or if she's going to swim, and she's trying to balance that right now.
Absolutely. And I just watched her interview with, I think it was Entertainment Tonight, and what she said in it was, she's like, basically I came off the show, then we're pretty much right into quarantine, then I'm right into, 2 weeks isolation to be on the show, like, or whatever, however long it was. And so she's like, she's like, I'm still in game mode. But like, she hasn't had time, in my opinion, to process the fact that she was really abused in her past season, and that by the end, she wasn't even able to articulate, what she really wanted for herself, because she was just so if that's even a word, ensnared in what was going on last. Exactly. So last season, I think really, really affected her, and she hasn't processed that yet. And so she's processing that now. Go ahead.
Makes sense why it did affect her. She's realistic. She's a Capricorn. She's trying to figure all of this out and make sense of everything, when honestly, the way they were last season, it doesn't make sense, but she's still trying. So she needs to go ahead and juggle these two right here and figure out how to make this keep swimming rather than sinking in the emotions.
Yes, absolutely. And so since she's been nominated, like, she is definitely losing her Capricorn practicalness. I don't know if you saw on the feeds last night, Nicole, but Janelle was talking to Nicole, and she even brought up, she's like, we're Capricorns. We don't cry. This is your one cry for the year. Like, you get 2 cries a year. Like, this is it. And Janelle's even saying this to Nicole. It's like, you're allowed to cry, but this is like, we're not emotional. Like, don't get sucked into it. Because I think also they don't know how to handle their emotions very well, because they're not an emotional sign.
Well, no, not at all. So when they do, they either turn into a Janelle, which is stoic, or Nicole, or they break down, because they look at the realistic side, and to them, it's just everywhere. Rather than certain signs that have, okay, we're emotional, or other signs that are straightforward. Capricorns are kind of
we'll get to an emotional sign later on. Actually, both of them. Oh my God. Anyways, we'll get to them. Okay, so do you think that Nicole A has any chance of winning this season with those cards in mind? Yeah,
no.
It doesn't seem like,
not one bit.
It doesn't seem very supporting her doing very well in the game. It seems that she's going to be kind of consumed, as David is, in emotions and getting himself on track within the game. It doesn't seem like the game is his number one obstacle right now.
And it's actually interesting that I know we have a few Capricorns and stuff in this season, but the two of them are the same, and they came out of just this crazy season last year. And both of them, you can see, are trying to honestly both do that card I just pulled. Chuckle. Yeah.
They are definitely both trying to figure out how to navigate with what they felt last year with this actual game, because it is a social strategy game, and it is a numbers game, and it is like, a club of like, all that stuff comes into play. And so if you are not really good at navigating that cool kid, like, you're gonna have a big problem. Like, I don't think Nemesis is cool, but he's playing the cool kid role because he's the boss right now. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So Poor things. I feel bad for them, but I also am like, you're in All-Stars, man. Like this shouldn't be the narrative of the game, in my opinion. I don't want anybody to be hurt. I don't want anybody to be offended. I don't want any of that. But I also don't want people crying for days about the fact that someone disrespected their game. Pardon me?
It's so exhausting watching them cry.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of haven't been watching the feed since yesterday, really, because I'm like, I don't want to hear whining, and I don't want to hear any more people complaining about Janelle, who's doing absolutely nothing in the game. She's actually not even playing well. She's not even playing well. And, like, people are just giving... I can't wait to get to hers. Okay, next up, who do we have? So it would be season 20, so we could do Bailey.
Yes, and I love Bailey. I personally have a relationship with her. I've met her a few times.
Ooh.
I actually spent my 30th birthday with her on the cruise we went on. And we had lemon drop shots. She is one of the kindest people. I do have to say that. She's very...
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've had some... you know, reservations with Bailey because I've seen her on the challenge and just, you know, kind of her attitude coming into that show. And I definitely didn't like the fight between her and Tyler, even though it was warranted. I felt that she was maybe, her emotions got the better of her. And I just didn't like someone being unhinged, and she became unhinged on the challenge. But I have to say that I really am appreciating how she's coming across in this house. You know, I think that she's making really good friendships. I think that she's being really kind. I think that she's being very likable and telling stories and engaging with people. So I'm really liking the Bailey that I'm seeing in this house so far. And I just really hope that nobody crosses her, because I don't want to see her get upset.
Well, she's always going to be sassy.
Sassy's fine. I don't mind sassy. I just don't like the unhinged.
And she's more herself this season. I feel like she doesn't have as many barriers up. So we're actually seeing a kinder side to her. Rather than just defense. We're seeing a little offense with her.
And I think also, too, with regards to, usually there's only one, maybe two people of color within a game. And the fact that there's more than one female person of color, Black woman in this game, I think that also that's something that she gets to have faith in somebody. And I don't see Devon ever turning against her. I do feel like their Black Girl Magic Alliance is something that's true. And I think partially why she got so upset with Tyler could also be a little bit of that, is that, you know, she's by herself ethnically, and then she's kind of being duped by the majority race. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Bailey's a Gemini. So Geminis are great at communicating, which she's been doing so well so far. They're great at gossiping, which she's a great gossip. They're fast energy, fast talking, like ideas. They're moving. They think a lot and they think fast. What do you think of her being a Gemini?
Well, Geminis are also the twins, so it's kind of two sides of a person. So I think we just talked about that leading into Bailey. How we see one side of her, but there's also this other very kind, softer side, which I think is very important with Geminis. Sorry, I'm looking something up really quick.
Okay, so the card I pulled for her is just interesting, is time to let go, move the fuck on. And I think that is advice about how she feels about Tyler. I know she said that they got on and, you know, that they are fine now. But I could see her holding a little bit of resentment there, or hesitation to maybe trust him. And I think that he's going to want to do well by her more than she needs to, like, be worried about him, and more than she needs to not trust him anymore. I think that she needs to let go her hesitation about Tyler, because I think that I don't think he'll stab her in the back again.
And one big thing about Geminis too is they are known to be very moody. And I think we have seen that with Bailey with things. Even if it's definitely with Tyler, like you were just talking about, it's like very dependent on their emotion, what they're thinking, what they're going through. There are sharp thinking also, which I think we've seen Bailey do a lot of.
Absolutely.
All right, how many do you want me to cut the deck?
2 times.
Okay. Interesting. All right. 4 of Wands.
Okay, that's good. So 4 of Wands usually is a card of celebration, a card sometimes of marriage. You can see there's a couple getting married there. Wands, or 4s in general, are about stability. So sometimes it's like making a home, getting stable in your life. You could see behind them is a castle. So it's kind of what this would say to me is that she is making a foundation that's outside of the main group, and that could be that final 4 that she made with herself, Davon, Cody, and is it Tyler? No, it's Enzo. And so it's Enzo, yeah.
Enzo and Cody.
Yeah, and did I say Corey? I meant Cody. Anyways, so I feel that actually that final 4, maybe that's going to take her pretty far.
Well, in the celebration too, and you can actually kind of see her Gemini right here with this. The fire and the passion, and then the sweet, kind soul, and the hope for, you can see that with the colors about her with this.
This actually is telling me that she's going to go quite far.
I see that too, with the castle in the background, because it's taking her passion and also putting it up top here, which is kind of showing, I think.
I don't know if it's a winner card, but that's definitely
a final 4 card.
I think it's a final 4 card too.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's with Cody and Enzo and Davon, but I think that the final 4 that she made with them is going to be helpful for her because all those people will be picked off before she is.
Final 4, her power going up. I think this is definitely a final 4 card.
Gotcha. I agree. Ooh, very good.
Come on, bae. You got this, girl.
Well, all the people that she's in alliance with are all bigger targets than she is. So as long as she just hides behind all these people, she is kind of golden, at least to get to the final 4. And then it's kind of like win or go home at that point. Like, you have to win.
What's interesting about this card, too, is the celebration is behind the 4 of Wands. Mm-hmm. So it's that kind of wand protection, and then you behind it. So yeah, she's gonna do quite well. She's gonna go far. Absolutely.
Who is next? We got her
Tyler,
kind of partner, but not so much. She's like me, an Aquarius. Aquarius.
The emotion.
Aquarius. So Aquarius in general are the humanitarian signs. They get along with usually everybody for the most part. They might have their opinions of people, but they do get along with most signs, the best out of all the signs. They tend to want to do things for the masses. They're like just humanitarians.
Lie to the masses.
I mean, they're not very emotional. So they are able to share information sometimes, and I don't know if they can potentially lie, I would say, due to the fact that they don't think that they're doing anything wrong.
Very Tyler, though. We saw it last season ago.
What else about Aquarius? They're usually innovative. They usually have big ideas that are interesting. They're usually a little quirky, a little bit offbeat, like just a little bit unique.
Go with the flow.
Yeah, go with the flow for sure.
Free spirited,
likable, usually funny.
Yep.
So I mean,
toot your own horn.
I mean, we're hilarious. Come on. There's barely any Aquarius that I don't like. I think I've met one Aquarius that I didn't particularly like.
Oh, what's her name? I'm just kidding.
It was actually he. But he was just like, he was all the negative traits of an Aquarius packed into one. So just like, whoa, but it could just be like, I'm just seeing him reflected of myself and was like, oh, I don't like that about you. Who knows? But there's only been one. So Tyler is an Aquarius. He definitely uses that kind of, go with the flow type vibe, get along with everybody, making all these final 2s. Easy for him to lie, doesn't get emotional.
That free spirit, we saw that in his intro video 2 seasons ago too. It screamed free spirit. And he uses that to his advantage with his gameplay. He really does.
Yes. But there usually are still pretty loyal to at least somebody. Like when they say, I'm with you, they usually are loyal.
But how awkward is that with Tyler, since he literally tells everyone that there is final two?
Well, he's loyal to them until he's not.
He's loyal to Angela. Like, let's be
yeah, he's loyal to himself, you know, to win. So,
right, in this game, I'm gonna go break my knee in the corner as he's walking out.
Okay, let's see what card he has here.
Alrighty.
Oh boy. Okay, this is You're the Shit. Don't forget it.
Oh my.
I mean, that's a very, in my opinion, positive card for Tyler. I do feel like in this game so far, he is getting his footing. You know, when the season first started, I think he was anticipating having Josh there and maybe Casey there as kind of his, you know, safety net. I think that exactly. Well, he wanted to work with them. He knows who they are. Like, he would feel comfortable in putting his trust in them. And so I think that he's kind of been navigating a little bit, not knowing who to trust, obviously making all these final twos because he doesn't feel safe. But I think that this is reminding him that, like, he has the capacity to win all these people. Like, Aquarius is a heady sign. It's about, they're thinkers. And so I do think that he is capable of thinking his way to the end again, getting there. And so I think that this card is reminding him that he's got it. That's a really good card, I would say. What do you got?
He's up in the air. All right. How many times should I cut this one?
6. Oh, it's so long. So many.
No, I'll do it fast.
6. You're the shit. Don't forget it. Wow.
4, 5, and 6. Top one. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Queen of Swords.
That's pretty good too. So when I think of the Queen of Swords, I think what I learned, we called her the Margaret Thatcher. So it's off with their heads and who cares? What I say goes. I'm queen. I rule. And so I think this is a very good combo of cards for Tyler, showing them that he and his intelligence and his word is possible for him to dictate exactly what the flow of the game. I think it's saying that he can run with it.
But he also has this crow or raven, you know, depending how you think about it, kind of lingering over him with his emotions, which could be a little bit of negative coming. Mm-hmm. Either in his mind, I see it more in his mind that he has something kind of lingering above him to maybe stop him from fully using this powerful sword, this, you know, air. Like,
well, it's probably his guilt from Bailey is probably part of it. That's probably what that lingering. You can also
see that here with the emotions, the clouds around him.
Mm-hmm. But this, so far out of all the cards that we've drawn, this is the most winner-esque combination of cards.
Saying you can get through it.
Yeah, like his word means something, his rule, you know, he has to overcome some things, but it's like he comes out on top. He's the ruler. So right now, out of the people that have gone so far, it looks like this could be a winner. At least in the final two. Or it could be a winner. And then Bailey's final four.
Yeah, which would make sense, though. Think about it. The way that they're working together. It would make sense for him to get to this final two, see the seat. You can literally physically see it on this card. Mm-hmm. With Bailey,
so I'm gonna write down. We're gonna end up making a prediction order of boot list. I'm gonna write this down. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Perfect. Okay. That's a very good card. I think that's great for his game. If I was playing this game, I would want that combination of cards to be pulled for me. Do you? Okay, I'll just pause it.
I'll start shuffling. Okay.
Okay, so next up, we have Christmas. So Christmas is a Sagittarius, kind of close to the cusp of Capricorn. She's December 20th, I believe. Sagittarius, they don't like being told what to do. They definitely are, it's a fire sign. They usually, like, it's kind of also the sign of big ideas, long distance travel. They tend to be, any guy that I've known that has been a Sagittarius has always been not necessarily monogamous, we'll say, in relationships. They usually were very fluid, we'll say, in their relations, like their partnership. Pardon me?
It's a good way. Very fluid.
And so, yes, they're very fluid. So I don't know if I would specifically picture Christmas this way, personally.
I can't see her as a Sagittarius at all.
I will say maybe so, because it's a fire sign. She does have all that energy that she wants to get out, so she's into her fitness and into moving. And so I'm thinking, like, that's sometimes usually an earthy thing, kind of like a Virgo thing, like get their body moving, but maybe she has other things in her chart. Obviously, we don't know everything about her sign or her makeup, but she's chatty with people. But she doesn't really have these big ideas. They're usually like the philosopher. They're usually like kind of smart in like an interesting way. I don't see
it.
Sagittarius really in her, other than her maybe being passionate about body.
And the only thing I see is the fire sign. It's one of the 3 fires. That's all I see, because it's her passion about, like you're saying, fitness, writing, everything. She has that. But this is one of the first signs I see where I don't, like, that's very off to me.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily put her as a Sag. It could be because she's on the cusp of Capricorn, because I could see her more of a Capricorn than a Sagittarius, personally. Yeah. Because she doesn't seem like she's that emotional, even though she had her emotional breakdown.
That's right now.
But I don't know. She doesn't seem like a Sag to me, but I think her drive is maybe the only thing. I agree. Okay, let's see what card she has, though, coming for her. God, please don't be a good one. I don't want her to do well.
I know. I really don't either, but okay, I'm starting to shuffle, and then we will do that how many times?
For you, I'd say 4 for her.
You want 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
1.
Okay. I read the one side first, and then I laughed. So the first side that I read was, "It will lie to your face." And then it says, "Fuck fear." So when I think of that, I just kind of think of her personal journey in the house. And I'm sure that she is a little bit afraid of maybe hurting herself again, or being in that same position as that she was last year. And so she might be maybe holding back and not, she's still doing well in competitions, but there might be some hesitation with like how far she pushes herself. Also, you know, she is kind of hedging her bets, we'll say, with the strategy portion of the game. I think it's because she didn't do any strategizing herself in her first season. She just let Paul kind of dictate everything that was going on. And so maybe that's what it's saying, is that she needs to start dictating the game a little bit more and stop being scared of, you know, where she stands, and appeasing everybody. So yeah, she's kind of appeasing and malleable right now. I don't know, I'm not really into it.
This is a really bad card for her, in my opinion.
Oh God. Okay.
The Hierophant.
Huh.
It's like it's like a second chance.
Well, Hierophant also means like creating new dogma and having a new approach and having a new philosophy. And like so maybe she needs to still, she's playing the game that she's playing right now, I don't think is the winning game, I'd say, with this combination of cards.
I see jury, though.
Jury? I can see jury.
I see
but
jury.
I think that she hasn't come up with, like, she hasn't she doesn't have her own game plan. She hasn't developed, like, she doesn't know how to strategize. Like, I don't feel like she's putting what she needs to do in order for her to move forward in the game. And so I think that she's just going to be outplayed. Like, I just think that people are playing harder than her, and she doesn't have her own style of play or her own, like, MO. I just don't think she's good.
Well, with the way I decipher cards, sometimes it's with color. And the way I see color is orange is kind of for justice. Green could be for, money, things like that. And what I see is she has justice and money kind of in front of her, and she's trying to, figure that out. Does she want justice for after she went out last season with her foot and everything? She is about money a lot, and you can see that with it kind of being before her. But I see this justice a little more important because it's going diagonal with it's out. So that's the way I'm reading it.
So, and also if you keep on mentioning justice, like, I think that could lend towards jury and getting justice for who deserves to win. Yeah, I say jury. I do not see that this as a winning card. I think that she has to overcome too many other things, and I don't think she has a game-winning strategy. I don't think she has any strategy.
Not at all.
Cards know it all. The cards are so smart. So we say she's jury. It says fuck fear and the Hierophant. Yeah, she doesn't have a game. Like, she doesn't have her, like, she's just wishy-washy, I think
she just sits and cries over Paul every night.
So. Wait, she has a partner right now, doesn't she?
No, but she does have a son, and I think she talks about that at least 80 times a day.
I change the channel whenever she comes on.
Damn, right? Like, oh.
Okay, who's next?
Well, I think then we go to
Avon?
Yeah.
Or Nicole Franzel?
No, it'd be Day, because Franzel, well, should we go to winter or original season?
Let's go Day first.
Yep. Okay. Oh, love my girl Day.
Listen, I love Day too. And I wanted to see Day do well, but so far this game, her read is off. It is so far off and she's so confident in everybody always saying, like, her read is good, like, she sussed out the twins and she sussed that out, and yeah, she did have good reads in those seasons, but I think that the additional layer of everybody being an all-star right now is actually shimmering and distorting her actual perception, because she has all these preconceived ideas that are coming in that's making it flawed. And so it's kind of like how, they say that you can't read the cards for yourself because you have your own biases that come in. I think because these are not new players, her own biases are coming in, her own emotions are coming in, her own, how she feels about people are coming in, and that is overtaking her having some really clear intuition about things. And so I'm really say again. She's a Taurus. That means grounded. So
I guess something that's not common with Taurus is that when they do have these emotions, they don't know how to handle it. Mm-hmm. Like, they are so determined. They are ready to get everything done.
Oh my God. The cards are so crazy sometimes. Can you see this one? Go ahead, keep going.
But they're very determined. They want to get things done. And I think a lot of things that we put aside with Tauruses is that they have emotions. They just don't deal with them because they are so focused on getting everything done. Where with Day, you can kind of see that because then she has her blow-ups.
For sure. And, Taurus is ruled by, whatchamacallit? What's it called? The sexy sign? Venus. And so, they like nice things, and they like eating, they like food, and they're usually the best lovers of the signs, they're tactile, and so I think that's what makes her really good when she is on the ball about what is going on. But not this time around. I think that there's too many outside influences, in my opinion. So her groundedness is not being effectively used, in my opinion. So look at this card that I got. So,
they are known for their sense of humor. So that's something that
she's great. She's funny.
That's something to put in there too. Okay, let me see your card.
It is, you got a feeling you just can't shake. That little voice inside of you, listen to that shit. And so I think that, you know, with us saying that Devon is always really great at using her intuition, I think right now she's not using it well. She's allowing her own personal bias to come in and take over the position of her intuition, her gut feelings, and she's misreading the signs big time. So I think this is saying that she's capable of fixing it, but I think what will have to happen is she's going to have to be blindsided by something. So she's going to find out that something is going to happen that's going to go against what her intuition has been saying all along, in order for her to be like, oh my God, I've been wrong all along. And then she could maybe be able to readjust, because she's actually been wrong about everything so far.
Is that classic Day though? Like normally she's either super right or so where it's like, you're so far off what's happening in your head.
But can you believe this card? And it jumped out too.
Oh, it's not the best when they you're trying to do something and it's flying over to this side of the room. You're like, what?
Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm paying attention. And okay. So,
cut.
Okay, let me hear your card.
Cut. Tell me how many times to cut.
Oh, 2.
Damn, she is working hard. 8 of Pentacles.
So 8 of Pentacles is the apprentice card. It's obviously working hard. It's putting in effort. And I think when I relate it with these two is that she is working too hard. She is overplaying. Since we're going to make this kind of spoilery, I'll put spoilers in the titles, is that, you know, with all, I guess it was 2 nights ago, Wednesday night, she was actively lying to Janelle and really saying that she was going to be going after Keisha and that she wants to keep Keisha in order for Janelle to still be continuing to campaign for her. And I think that she's working too hard at foiling people. She doesn't need to say that. Like, if she doesn't know about Keisha, just be like, listen, I think she needs to start being honest with Janelle specifically, because her keeping on lying and then taking things that Janelle has been saying back to the other alliances who are using all the information that she's giving you, it's not going to help you necessarily. They will get rid of her in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat. It almost is that each one of these is kind of a house guest, and she's trying to work on them. And it's not necessarily working, but I do see Jury in the background with her.
In the background, though? So that means that she's not going to make it there?
No, the way I see it is...
It's kind of far away.
I think she might be first member. Again.
Well, what happens? Oh, wait. The jury, the veto pick, not great. But, see... I don't know how far that alliance of 6 is going to stick their neck out for Day.
I cannot even keep up with the alliances this season, though. I feel like they're everywhere.
It's a mess. It is a mess. I think the only true one that she's in is that foursome. I don't know if they're going to stick up for her, though. If it's going to be them or her, they're going to save them. Any of that. Nobody other than Bailey, I think, would use a veto on her. Maybe Danielle. Maybe.
The way I see it, it's a lot of passion, a lot of work. Her dreams are in the back, but I don't know if we're gonna get there.
I don't know if I see Jury.
If it's there,
I'm worried, but maybe first member of the jury. Okay, I can see that.
I see her being first again.
Okay, I can see her being first jury member because it's far away, but she's far away maybe from the win.
Exactly. Here.
But with the work that she's putting in, maybe I can see jury. So first member of the jury.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm saying here.
Okay, I can agree with that. 8 of Pentacles.
5, 6, 7.
But I think that she needs to start using her intuition if she wants to move further than that. Obviously, this is just a prediction with what's going on right this second. But if she starts, like maybe once once Janelle is not blamed anymore, so Janelle's out and Kaser's out, once all they're gone and like she has to actually play the game instead of just throwing somebody else's game under the bus, then intuition is going to help her out a little bit better. But I don't think that she's setting herself up well for the long game.
Well, and you can see that here. It's work.
Yeah, she's working hard for nothing.
To everyone else, it's literally him trying to
just work. Oh, sucks. Tyler's game looks way better right now. Okay, Franzel, our first water sign. Water talks about emotions, and she's a Cancer. Cancer is probably the most emotional of the signs because they're about family and home, and you know they are loyal, but they're loyal at a price of their emotions. God, it's so annoying. Sorry?
I was like, oh God, you think with her?
Yeah, so she's definitely been crying the most out of anybody in this house so far, crying over everything that anybody could ever be saying, doing, thinking, / mostly Janelle. Janelle says, hi, how are you? She's making fun of me. She cry. So, yeah, she's 100% a Cancer in my mind.
Information here.
She's not... She gets overcome by emotion, and she doesn't forget things, and she doesn't let things roll off her back. Like, she definitely holds on to things. And so, yeah, she's emotional Cancer. I'm not really down with it, but let's see what the cards have to say about Nicole Franzel.
I don't know. Cancers are also very, as you said, overly sensitive, caring, and just loyal, but it's like I feel like she's never loyal to anyone besides herself. So that's
or the guy that she's dating at the moment. Ah! I don't know if that's a Cancer trait.
No, but I mean it's true because Cancer is very different than Scorpio and Pisces, which are the other water signs. In the fact that they are also, I feel, more head on with things, I don't know how to explain it, just more
direct. Like Cancers hold on to things and like stew in them, and then Scorpios kind of do that as well, but it's in a different kind of way. Scorpios are a little bit more like, I'm gonna get you with that later. But with Cancers, they just let it brew inside of them, and it's just.
And then there's like a blow up, and they're like crying about it after.
Absolutely,
like,
and they
to yourself.
They also get offended by everything, which she moody. Does.
And they're very moody.
So moody in a way that. It's just, I'm not a moody, well, I can be moody, but a different kind of moody. But, like, it's my rising sign is Cancer, so I'm like, I kind of get it, but, like, and both my parents are Cancer.
We should have said, like, what we are.
Oh, I'm Aquarius, like I said 10 times. My moon is Capricorn, so I have that stability. I have the Janelle gene, and then my rising sign is Cancer, so that's what I'm kind of learning to understand and become, we'll say.
And I know I've told you mine before, but my sign is Pisces, and my moon is Scorpio, and my rising is Scorpio. So I'm just a mess.
But you're probably, very alluring when people meet you. Like, people probably are like, she's mysterious. Like, they don't know how to think of, you know what I mean? Like, I think that you draw people in. You probably have that mystery of the Scorpio, that's, people are just like, ooh, they're intrigued. Usually. And they're like,
yeah, so
okay.
There's water everywhere.
Yeah, you're very watery then. Are you really emotional? Probably. So the card I pulled for Nicole Franzel is, whatever you are thinking about, don't do it. Now is not the fucking time. And it's true. She is playing a very bad game as well. Yeah. like, I get it. Janelle is scary. I get it. But Janelle, A, has no numbers. Like, why have they not figured out that every single person is bitching about Janelle? So what is this army that they think that she's amassing? Like, she has nobody. Nobody's telling her the truth. Everybody's taking everything that she says, lying about it to other people and spinning it in a direction. She didn't have Keisha stay. Like, she has absolutely no power in the game. But people are so terrified of her. It's crazy.
Tell us how you feel, Chantele.
But it's true. If she took her mind off of Janelle and into actually the game, she would do a lot better. Why is she creating an enemy of Janelle? Janelle wasn't coming for Nicole until she starts hearing rumblings that Nicole doesn't like her anymore. You know what I mean? Like, she maybe she, or maybe she would eventually have come for her just because she's a previous winner, but she was never really on the radar except for just not particularly liking her as a person. You know what I mean?
You know what's interesting though is everyone is going after Ian because he's a winner, but no one's like, oh, Nicole won also. No one's
absolutely. And more recently.
It's kind of forgettable. But like, I think that honestly means that they honor Ian's win a little bit more. That's how I'm taking it. But it's true. We got, like, get her out. She also won. It's crazy.
That would be my person to get out for sure. A, she's annoying, and B, she's already won. Like, get out.
Her voice, I would rather
do a lot of things. And I know it's, people find it endearing, but I don't find her like freaking and like just a cutesy swear words like you're 30 or whatever.
She needs to frickin' be hired onto the Good Place set where they can't even say, there's like a fork. Like,
I mean, that's kind of funny, but like,
she's a legitimately.
She just annoys me though.
No, she's the worst.
So this is telling me that she's playing, the cards know she's playing a bad game.
Okay.
She's creating an enemy out of Janelle. So Janelle is not going to care if you leave. And that's, I think it's problematic to make enemies like this. Especially since Janelle is not one that's afraid of making the moves. If she has the power and she thinks that you're coming after her, she will go for that shot. She's not going to hedge her bets. Like, she would probably backdoor you. Like, she would get her out. So I think that she needs to be a little bit more careful about her game, and she needs to stop bad-mouthing people.
That's all she knows how to do.
Janelle, anyways.
All right, how many times? Cut.
2.
King of Pentacles.
Oh.
I don't know.
That's a good card.
I know.
It's a very good card.
I'm very scared. The only thing that I have hope with is that the ivy might take her away from this chair.
King of Pentacles is a very good card. Kings, obviously, they rule. They're the master of the domain. Pentacles are about material world and finances. And so, oh my God, that really scares me, that card.
This is a winner card or final 2 card. And you can see it with the throne. In the work.
And it's the money, though, as well. Oh my God. No, I can't have her be the winner of this game.
You know, I had a weird feeling about a month ago that she was going to be the winner.
She can't be a 2-time winner. She cannot be a 2-time winner. This is problematic.
Should we just move on now, not even go into it anymore?
Oh my God. Okay, let's think. But maybe there's going to be another opportunity to win some other money within the game.
You see that throne, though?
God. Okay, let's move on. I'm so not happy with that card being her card. That's better than. I'd say that's better than Tyler's.
All right, one sec. I'm right here. Yeah.
What are you doing? Oh. Okay, next up is it Cody?
Yeah.
From 17. It was day. Doesn't matter. We already did it. So Cody's another Sagittarius. So let's think. How are him and Christmas alike?
Well, straight
They're
shooter
kind of
one with Sag. They have that arrow going through.
They usually speak their mind. They
Yep.
usually get in trouble for talking, like saying too much or not being too considerate of like the words that come out of their mouth. He's definitely very physical, active.
The only part of Sag I see with him is that he could be a straight shooter. I don't see the fun, happy.
Well, except when he's talking to Janelle and Kesar. Except for when he's talking to Janelle and Kesar.
I don't see that like free-minded, happy-go-lucky side of him too much.
Maybe it's because we're seeing him within the game. Maybe in real life we'd notice the qualities of Sag a little bit better.
That's true.
Can you look it up? When's Polly's birthday?
Polly?
Okay. Yeah. He's probably a Cancer. He's weird.
No, he's probably 85 signs all in one.
Okay, so the card, though, while you're looking that up, that I pulled is... Oh, that's not good for him. You are going through some tough shit. Everyone has their turn. Welcome to yours. Gather your tired ass and handle it.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, keep going.
That's all it is. So everybody has their turn. Welcome to yours. Gather your tired ass and handle it. So that seems to tell me that he's not going to win, that he is going to maybe be on the block a few times. Depending on what card you pull, we'll see how far he gets. But I don't think it's going to be as easy of a ride as he wants it to be.
Good.
Okay, what's
Polly's birthday
sign?
is November 13th.
Okay, so he's a water sign, so Scorpio. That makes sense too. Scorpio, yes, he's definitely
water sign too.
I mean,
water sign.
Out of all the water signs, I'm sorry, Nicole, but Pisces is my least favorite usually. Then, Scorpio and Pisces are both kind of terrible. For me.
Imagine being me then. Pisces and Scorpio.
Oh,
why are we?
I don't even know. Why are you the worst?
No, I said, why are we friends? You should hate me.
I mean, I've in my years of living, I've grown tolerant. I'm just kidding. You haven't done me any wrong. You haven't Scorpio'd me, so we're good. We're cool.
Yeah. Also, people, Chantele evicted me from Big Brother Cheesecake, so she didn't do wrong.
I mean, see, a Scorpio is going to use this for the rest of my life. Is going to hang this over my head. I've forgotten about it, but Scorpio will always remember and come back at me with it as ammunition.
I keep a little booklet of things I can say to you. Yeah. Remember that one time we connected? Then you screwed me over? No.
She does remember. The book is just in her head. It's a Scorpio thing. I'm kidding. Well, not kidding, but I'm just joking around. So what card do you have for him?
How many times?
5 times, please. 5 times.
The Fool. I don't know on that one.
Fools kind of mean new beginnings, kind of mean naivety, stepping off that cliff into a new world. So I don't know. For me,
Derek.
Right. So he is on his own now. He is navigating this path.
So you have Derek right here, trying to get him.
Well, and then that he's going through some shit, but he's going through it alone. He had somebody else to bounce ideas off of, or at least go with, I think that Derek had a little bit better of a grasp, Derek being an Aquarius, of the game, and he was able to navigate it a little bit better with more logic. And so as much as Cody right now is in quite a strong, powerful spot, he's also a shiny little trinket that I would want to get out, especially since he set himself up pretty well with his first head of household reign, but I think that people still might want to come for him. Well,
I mean, when you look at the Fool,
hope so.
It's going into its new journey with a lot of baggage that they're ready to get rid of. I mean, he's the Fool. If you look at a Rider-Waite deck, which is one of the original decks, it's him actually with the stick with
the bag
there, which you can kind of see here. And to me, I take that as Cody honestly trying to move on from Derek, even though, I mean, Derek totally did all the pregame alliances. Hot topic. But him kind of trying to step off into his own journey, but he has the package, which looks, you know, kind of.
So how do you think that's going to bode for his game?
You know, I think Cody is going to get to jury, and I think he's going to be like final 6. Like that's what. I think he's going to be this, 6 to the end.
Okay.
Isn't that be a double eviction at that point? No. I don't know.
I definitely will think that it's saying that it's going to be new territory that he's going to be maneuvering in. So he doesn't have Derek. I don't think he's going to make it to the final 2. I think that he's too green in the game as much as he has power right now. I think that people like Danny is out strategizing him. Even though he seems to be in the power position, he seems to be in multiple alliances, I think that he might get duped for his naivety, personally, from that card. The Fool is naive. The Fool doesn't know. The Fool gets taken advantage of. The Fool gets, kind of manipulated. It's a great card for a new beginning. It's a great card for a new adventure. But I think this new adventure is him going away from Derek and doing the game on his own. I don't think it's a winning combination of cards.
So I mean, when you're doing readings, you know this, Chantele. You get the Fool, and you know what that person is going through. They just ended something in their life. Something's about to happen, etc. With Cody with this card, I honestly feel like I agree with you that it's him trying to he's green, he's moving on, he's starting fresh. We'll see how it works out.
But I don't think it's a fresh to the win. If I wanted a new beginning fresh to the win card, it'd be more like maybe the Magician, maybe even the Empress, would be more of a card that I would think that would be a winning card. That says
absolutely
not winning. Okay.
Absolutely.
Who's next? Who is next? So we got season 15.
Yeah.
We could do Janelle because she's season 14. Oh no, we can do Ian. Yeah.
Who is my Pisces brother, the only Pisces in All Stars right now.
Tell us about Pisces.
Well, I like to cry a lot, but no. Pisces are very intuitive, and it is the most intuitive sign. And I think you saw that with Ian in his first season. He was green, he was fresh, but he figured out Boogie, he figured out Dan, he played Brittany. I mean, you can see that. It's intuitive. It's studying, it's being obsessed with things. And knowing you can figure it out and how you're going to do it, but with a little emotion behind you.
Okay, I don't know if this card actually suits Ian, but you tell me what you think. It says, stop fucking whining. No one wants to listen to that shit. Complaining makes you weak. You have the strength to change the world, so do it.
That's literally the most Pisces card you could pull.
He's not really, in my opinion, a whiner, but...
that's more of a Nicole Frenzel.
Yeah, but maybe we'll just take on it. You have the strength to change the world, so do it. We'll just take that part of the card. We haven't really seen him that much in the feeds, but maybe he has been getting bogged down by, it seems as though people kind of want to target him. Maybe internally he's whining about what's going on, and maybe he just doesn't vocalize it on the feeds or to anybody in the house.
He hasn't necessarily been whining, but one thing Ian has been talking about is the misconception with him and his autism. and how after season 14, it was very hard for him because, you know, us assholes who actually decipher them with cards, but not, they were talking about his autism, and I don't even know if he was fully aware at that time that he had it or if he figured it out after. I can't totally tell by the way he talks about it, but he does hold on to that. And I think he's having a hard time also trying to get out of that shadow of what it was.
I could very much see that.
Yeah.
With him, not overcoming, but not allowing that narrative to follow him into this season.
Exactly.
You know, he definitely said that he doesn't talk to a lot of people from his past seasons, and you know, he's always been feeling misunderstood, and so maybe the whining, it's not whining, but more so is allowing the past feelings that he had to overtake his current game. So this is still a positive card for him, depending on what you pull. What do you got? I see 2. Dos.
Right, all right.
2, hurry up.
10 of Wands.
Oh. 10 of Wands. When I see 10s in general, I think of new beginnings with lessons learned. So this is saying to me that he is going to work really hard. I think that he's going to be targeted often. I think that he's going to be overcoming his past season often. I don't see this as a winning combination of cards. Yes, new beginning, but it's a lot of work. And so I think it's going to be a change to outcome than what he had last time, in my opinion. So it doesn't look good, in my opinion. What do you think?
You know, the way I see it, and I'm actually reading this card very matter-of-factually with Big Brother, which is very odd. But I'm seeing Ian as this, you know, young pup, and it's actually 10 of Wands, which is holding together season 10, which was Dan Giesling. And I see him still kind of struggling with that and holding on to that, like, pain of how people kept saying he should have, like, Dan should have won season 14. So I'm actually taking this card for some reason very literally. And hold, you know, gold, it's good for luck. It's good for, you know, gambling and whatnot. So I'm just reading this card very literally right now with him.
I think that that's a really good assessment too, like that he's carrying the burden of his past seasons and his past placements on him, and that he's just kind of trudging along. It doesn't seem necessarily victorious.
You don't see his face.
That, it's a work in progress.
Yeah, so for some reason, it's very literal, this card to me right now, where it's like, you could totally see, you know, the passion in the background, the colors, justice, passion, and, you know, garden, loveliness, great future.
And he's walking towards it.
But you don't see the face still, and that's a huge thing for me. It's like, you can tell he's dealing with the rap, the damn thing. The season 10, Ian being young, the white protection, etc. So I'm taking this one.
Yeah. So, do you think he's going to make it to jury with that the combo?
I feel like Ian's going to be out right before jury, like the last one.
Yeah, I don't see him going forward.
I think it's going to be that double eviction where he's the first one, and then what is it? The second one? How are they even doing it these days? I think he's going to be the one out right before jury starts.
Yikes. So when is jury going to be starting? Is it 9-person jury or 7-person jury? So 9 people. So when 7 people are gone?
Well, yeah. So it's 7, 9, 10. Usually it's 5 people beforehand?
So then it's a 9-person jury?
Typically, yeah. It used to be.
I don't know.
It used to be.
Oh, yeah, because there used to be only 14 people, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so 5.
Yeah.
So you think that he's going to be 12th, huh? Okay, I can see that.
I think he's out right before jury. I think it's a double
Okay,
eviction with Ian.
Boy. I mean, anyway, this season, I'm very much enjoying it, but I'm also like hating it a lot at the same time.
Right.
It's just none of it is going the way that I want it to. Okay, who's next?
Enzo?
So Ian's 14, so I guess Danny?
Are we going to do Danny for 13?
Well, okay, we can do it for 8 as well. So let's do then season 10. Or, no, 11, Kevin.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love him. I do love him.
You do? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm a big Kevin fan. I loved him in season 11. I think he should have won.
I liked Kevin more before he played this particular game. I'm not a personal fan of anybody. I don't like the crying, emotional manipulation tactic of getting people to keep you. His face is moping around and like, you know, like, oh, I don't want to put you in a bad spot. Like, I want people to come with me with the facts. Why do I need to keep you? Show me the game plan. Show me the way, the route that's going to get me to the end. I want to see that. I don't want people to feel sorry for me to keep me that way. Like, maybe I could be layered within it, but like, I want to see the strategic benefit of keeping me as opposed to them feeling guilty about sending me home. It's not my vibe.
I want to see someone on the block go in there and be like, what do I have to do to fucking stay here? You want me to do this? What kind of deal can I make? I am going to fight my life off. I'm not going to go sit and cry for 6 days. I'm going to be up here and trying to figure out what the fuck to do. And we're not seeing that yet. It's so
not seeing that. And he's also a Virgo. If you're a Virgo, I love you. I'm just, you know, there's certain signs that get along with other signs better than others. I have some very close friends that are Virgos. I've dated many Virgos. So I'm just from my own personal experience, I'm not a big fan of Virgo. I'm also, pardon me?
They're patient.
Yes. With the Virgo though, just one thing though to add as to why I'm also a little bit standoffish with them, that sign in particular, is because it's my north node. So my north node is Virgo and my south node is Pisces. So that's also could be one of the reasons why I gravitate to, I understand Pisces and I get along maybe with you, is because they say I was a Pisces probably in my past life, which is why I'm not learning those experiences in this life. I already get it. And then Virgo is so far away from me. It's what I need to learn to understand to evolve for me in this lifetime. And so it's something that I don't intrinsically understand, and which is why I'm just kind of like, it's too much. I don't get it. Like, you're so not like me. And so that's just one of the reasons also why I don't particularly gravitate towards Virgo, is because I don't understand them for the most part at all. Virgos, they tend to be, Virgo women specifically usually tend to be type A. They usually are very OCD about things. They like things in place, overthink everything, overanalyze, the mind of a Virgo is never to rest. There's always something to fix, something to change, something to do, something to maneuver. Like, they're never calm in that sense. They kind of are, they like using their bodies, so they
Anita Vito.
Exactly. So they might be athletic. They might like bike riding. They like hiking. Like, they like things that have to do with the earth, movement, daily things, a routine. Yeah. So Kevin is pretty Virgo-y, to be fair. Like, with like his competition.
He overthinks a lot. You can see that with things about him. I mean, sorry, I'm like looking at his like birthday as I'm doing this. It's also creative.
In an interesting way, in a different way than I understand creativity.
But I think we've seen this with how he is creative, and I just brought up Anita Vito, but it's something where it's different. It's creative. It's Virgo. Like, what?
Virgo. They're so confusing. And also though, what I find with Virgo, that they're not able to they compartmentalize, so they can only kind of focus on one thing at a time. From my experience with them, is that, you know, they'll do one thing well and perfect it, and like they'll do another thing well and perfect it. They're not really good at seeing the bigger picture and multitasking, and they're not from what I've seen and understand about the sign, they don't really do that. So let's see what card Kevin has coming for him. Did we already get this one? Yeah, we already got this one. Interesting. Okay. It says you're going through some tough shit. Handle it. Okay. Everyone has their turn. Welcome yours. Gather your tired ass up and handle it. And you know what? It's telling him to stop, to suck it up and start playing the game. And I'm so tired of him in this game so far. I'm also, you know, I'm tired of him bad mouthing Janelle to Nicole A, because it's like Janelle is actually being really nice and really considerate and like doing her makeup and like telling Nicole A everything, telling her all the secrets. She is working in Janelle's eyes with Nicole A, and Nicole A thinks that she's not. One of the reasons is because Kevin says like, oh, she's lying to you. Janelle's not doing that to you. And he's overthinking things incorrectly. He has such a bad read on the house, but he's fixated because he fixates on one particular thing, and that's the narrative that he's following through with. And so I think it's saying you're going through some tough shit is because he doesn't have a handle on what's going on in the game, actually. He doesn't have anybody actually on his side. He's making a final two with Nicole, who's just like, you don't need her to be a final two with you. It doesn't matter. You guys are not getting that far. Like, make a final two with someone that has some power in the game. Please? Please?
I can agree more.
Like, okay, final two, but like that's just gonna be a vote for for Kevin, like right now. Like it doesn't really mean anything. It's stupid. That's what I feel.
Girl, preach.
He needs to get out of his mindset. Like he needs to fix that, because
he's a Virgo. I mean, this is what we're talking about. He can't. He physically, literally, emotionally cannot. That's what Virgos do. They overthink. They're focused, and they're not emotional about their focus, but they're just focused. So I see it. How many times do you want me to cut?
6, but be fast.
I am. 2, 3, 4, 5, and here's the big one. 6. Oh boy, King of Wands.
Whoa.
I know we keep saying that these are very good cards, but this is honestly like the top of the, like this means he might win.
I think the King of Wands is a better card for winning just because Pentacles have money. Wands in general talk about passion and creativity and fire. So I mean,
himself, he can win.
I don't know if he's going to be able to get there.
Well, could this one be, you know, the fire? He's proving to himself he can do this. Now, I mean, it's a good card, but maybe it's how he thinks so little of himself, and now he can win.
Well, because when I think of the King of Wands, I think we learned him to be Steve Jobs. You know, he's the innovator. He is able to command and dictate and get his ideas across to people, and you know, get people to work within him. I don't see him having that capability of building his empire. I don't see that in him at all. Pardon me?
This is a rough one.
I don't see him being the King of Wands, but we don't, I mean, that's just my own stuff coming in. The cards might know something completely different. So do you think that that's a win? You think that Kevin's going to win this game?
No. The way I see this is as a personal win. I'm taking this personal. Like, you know, the wand, this is me. This is my power, you know. The strength, the fire.
Yeah. I mean, maybe, well, how far do you think he's going to get? Maybe he'll get to, well, jury? Like, I don't even think he's going to get that far. Like, I feel as though because he's...
Second member of jury.
Okay. So let's put them here.
I'm so glad you're writing these predictions.
I didn't really write them all down, but we'll go through them again shortly. So we're almost done. Did we do Memphis?
No. We didn't do
so
Danny.
What numbers ends? Okay, whatever. It's all around the same. So let's just do Memphis. Memphis is a Sagittarius. So you can see like him and Cody are kind of bonding a little bit. Like I know Memphis is a lot older, so that's kind of coming into play a little bit. But this whole guys thing, I think that that's because they both have the same kind of fire energy. And I think that that's what's, are you loving it?
No, I hate it. I hate Sagittarius.
You hate what?
I hate Sagittarius.
Sagittariuses? I don't hate them. They're okay for me, but like, I can understand why you wouldn't like them. They make your blood boil. They make you angry. Because when I think about the signs in general, like I think that how they interact elementally in the real world. So fire and water just don't go together very well. Either you're going to make water boil or you're going to put out fire. So they just don't work very well together. And so I understand how, how they act, being a Sagittarius, is not going to mesh well, we'll say, with your Pisces wateriness. But for me, I'm Aquarius, which is an air sign. And so air and fire work quite well together. If you think of a hot air balloon, you need air. Hot air makes things rise. They work together beautifully. And so I like Sages for the most part. I usually do. I haven't really met one I don't like, except if I'm dating them and I find out they're dating like 10 people. That's a Saggy thing to do. Just saying. I'm just saying. So Memphis, I'm not happy with the fact that Memphis allowed Keisha to go last week. I think that he should have, instead of trying to be a young buck and hang with Cody, like he was Cody's age probably when he played his first time. He needs to have really recognized his age, and they're just going to be not pagong, but like kind of like winners at war. But he's going to be like winners at war, where all the old season people are going to go, and a new season person's going to win the game. And it's going to be because of people like Memphis are playing wanting to be a young cool kid.
Well, I completely agree, and I don't think Memphis is understanding his place in the house at all. He's going in with
he's in that final 6 that he made, right? So that final 6
running it. He has literally said, yeah, this is what's hard about running an alliance. It's like, that's the worst way to word it. You should say this is what's hard about being in an alliance. Like, he's very he wants to do the top. He wants to pull the Dan game, the Derek game, the Will game, where he ran everything.
This is interesting. So the card that I pull is you need a fucking cry. Get the ugly cry on. Let that shit go. Your soul will thank you. And that's actually could be kind of true. I think that he's probably bottles up a lot of things. He seems a little bit stoic. He doesn't seem to have much compassion. And yes, in the game of Big Brother, you don't want your emotions to overcome you. But also if you've never really let them out, they can consume you and allow you to make bad choices. And I don't know if he's able to see clearly because he's making very bad choices, because I think that he wants to be a young, cool kid, and he needs to get over that. He's 15 years older than these guys. Like, have a little cry about it and move on and play with the kids your own age, because...
And by kids your age, I mean Jerry from your season, BB10.
I'm older than Memphis, so get out of here. Don't be a jerk. If I was on that house, I would be the oldest house guest, okay?
I still think Jerry should have been brought back for All Stars, and that's all.
I would have rathered that.
That's that on that.
I would have maybe rathered that. Who knows? Okay, so is Memphis. What do you got? 2 times, please. Okay, good. So that's another. We need to cry card. Is it the 5 or the 8? The 5.
5 of Cups.
So 5 of Cups is it's usually dealing with the emotional baggage that you haven't dealt with before. It's like, you know, you're not being able to see the silver lining, that you are a bit emotional. Like, it's like you have emotional toil over certain things in the past that you haven't looked at and got over. And so I think that this is really echoing the fact that he needs to have a little bit of cry. Like, I think that,
well, you can,
with the fact that he,
like, you can see the attempt to win, you can see the emotion, you can see him with hunched over with the dark.
Do you know what?
Attempts.
The cry is actually probably his loss to Dan. That's probably what the emotional cry that he needs to have. I think that he hasn't let go of the fact that he got to the end and lost, and that is still consuming him because he's making decisions that are very poor for his game, probably because he's so scared of getting to the end and not being able to win. And so I don't think that he has a winning game is from these two cards. I think that he is definitely still, like,
I think this is a hilarious card.
Why?
Just, I mean, you can see it. It literally looks like Memphis. Like, does not look like
exactly like Memphis. 5 of Cups. It's a terrible card to get if you're trying to win a game.
You're trying to emotions.
How far do you think he'll get? He's like probably gonna be done soon. No. Well, yeah, because everybody's turned on him, right? Because they didn't like how they treated David.
He's 4th out.
4th? So okay, so let's
like if we're doing the battle back, he'd be the most recent one.
I mean, we might go over this a little bit after, like we have like a skeleton, we'll say, and we'll see if our predictions will be that. Okay, who's next? We have, I guess, Danny. No, Enzo. Yeah,
wait.
We forgot about him.
Oh yeah, we skipped Enzo.
That's okay. So Enzo's a Capricorn. So we've talked a lot about Capricorn energy. There's quite a few Capricorns in this house. Why haven't they figured out that they need to work together? Because they would work together so well. They would be so loyal. They would be competition beasts. Like I think that they would have actually, the 4 of them, if there was a David, Enzo, Janelle, and Nicole Anthony, like, foursome, I think that would be a force to be reckoned with. I think that they would be doing pretty well because they understand each other's language. And I wish that they looked into that when they were making their alliances. But Enzo's also trying to be the young buck right now, so
it's actually really
he's not really thinking.
I was just shuffling the cards and said, "Show me one for Big Brother," like this season. Mm-hmm. I can't make this shit up.
Oh shit.
You can.
That's not good.
Like, did you see me just doing it right here? I was like flipping, like doing.
Oh boy. So I mean, that means things are going to be shaken up. That means that, like, it's going to be a mess. But you know what? After the end of the mess, though, it's the Star card. It means there's going to be an epiphany. That there's going to be a big shift, big change. I'm hoping that just means production's going to throw in some twists to screw over that major alliance because. Okay, I don't know if you listened to what I did, either Robin's podcast or when I did one of mine, and I talked about the fact that it seemed as though production wanted a guy to win the first head of household because it was so unevenly matched with the maze puzzle. Like, it was a lot easier for the guys to win the maze than it was for the girls because the guys, it was closer by and the girls were all at the other end and it had no bumpers. And so the women had a disadvantage. Also, it is decently heavy. Like, the men are not necessarily going to experience the weight of it as much. And they're taller, so they would have a better angle to be able to maneuver that. So it seemed to me that the guy was going to win no matter what. And then with the fact that Cody, they didn't reset after Memphis went, and you could see the stepping thing still shaking when Cody went. And so, I don't know, tinfoil hat, not sure. What?
I was going to say, there are people, like, watching it. I saw on Twitter a couple of times saying, like, okay, watch this one wibble and wobble, and this one not, and another one stable.
I watched it live, and it was wobbling.
I couldn't.
It wasn't even that you had to, it was very obvious. It was kind of like or waiting for Cody to go, like he's about to step up and go next, and it was still shaking. It was the one that was in the foreground, like it was the closest one to us, and it was just still like going like this. I'm like, we're like, you gotta wait for it to stop moving, and like he just went, and all of them were still shaking as he went through very easily.
I don't know. I feel like Grodd got what she wanted.
Well,
and
oh boy. Okay, let's see.
Card, I just text you. I'm running to the restroom again.
Okay. Do you want me to pause it, or do you want me to just keep talking?
Pause.
Okay. Pause.
Only once an hour,
okay.
actually.
So for Enzo Capricorn, so he's a workhorse. He's loyal. You know, the manager. Funny.
Capricorns are funny. I guess it's a humor too.
But it's kind of like a dry humor, though. It's not like a ba-da-ba. Like, I think Enzo's actually really funny. I don't know if it's because my Mercury's in Capricorn. Mercury is the planet of communication, and so how I communicate is Capricorn-like and Capricorny. They used to call me Corny Chantele because my jokes were corny.
I'm gonna totally start calling you that.
No, that was like when I was like.
People, a little update. I know we hear Mercury is in retrograde all the time. It literally means your communication is going backwards. So exactly. If it's between people, family, friends communicating, or if it's literally like your phone and printer, computer aren't working, it's a communication that's going backwards. So that, Chantele was just saying, like, that's a little explanation on Mercury retrograde.
Absolutely, and it goes retrograde like at least two or three times a year for 3 weeks. Correct? 3 times always.
This past year, I think it's 3 times. I don't know if it might be.
I think it's 2 or 3. I think it depends on where it lands, whatever. But I could be wrong. But anyways, no, for sure 2 times a year, and it usually lasts 3 weeks long when Mercury's in retrograde. And so don't be sending any important messages, emails, anything any sort of communication type things.
Chantele,
don't be doing it.
Worse, because you're in Mercury, and then Mercury retrograde hits, so you're just like screwed during that time.
Yeah, so Mercury retrograde is maybe times when I might get in, not arguments, but miscommunications with people. No, never. Okay, so for Enzo, I got Enzo. You look like a shit show. You're a hot mess. Fact. Clean yourself up. And actually, I agree with this. I think that, I love Enzo. I know some people really can't stand him. They find him annoying. I think that he is a little bit of comic relief. I think that he's easygoing within the house. Like, I'm not, when Kevin right now, like, it's just like, oh, it's too much emotional labor just to pay attention to him. Same with Nicole Anthony right now. I can't be bothered. Same with Nicole Franzel. Like, I can't hear anymore. So I find like Enzo's enjoyable to listen to and watch on the feeds. But I think that when it says that you're a hot mess, that it doesn't seem like he has a game plan. It seems like he's going with the flow, which is working right now. But I think in order for him to do even better, I think he needs to not just be like, I'm just going to make an alliance and just rely on that alliance to get me to the end. I think he needs to have a little bit more action in his game instead of just basically repeating what he did his first time around.
That's exactly what I was just about to say. Do you think it's because he's trying to repeat the brigade?
That's what it seems like he's doing. That's all he makes a solid 4 alliance that he has, and you get a side alliance with that and ride it to the end. I mean, it's effective, but I don't know if it's going to get him to win because people are going to come in and snipe that, I think.
Tell me how many times to cut.
2.
Okay.
Ooh. That's a very good card. When I see the 9 of Cups, that is your wish is my command. That is lucky. That is
with all of your emotions in the past. You're in front of it.
That's emotional success. That is like if you want a yes, that card's a yes. Is Enzo winning this game?
I can see him. I can't remember who else I've said this about. I can see him in final 3 or 2 again. I really can. It's depending on how it's going to go, but I can see him 4, 3, 2, or 1. Honestly, with this, with the passion over his head, he's gone over it. It's on top of his head. He has all the emotions from the brigade in the back, which could also, how many cups is this? It could totally, the cast, of, and he is with Violet, which is intuition. He is very intuitive, as he is. So it's him in front of the intuition, the emotions, and he's sitting crossed. And this is a super Enzo way to sit, too, where it's like, yeah, I got this far. What now? You know?
Okay, so this card with it, I think it's saying that, like,
this is good.
Just, like, get control of what you're doing. Like, my one says it's, like, clean yourself up. And so I think that he needs to... No, I think that he needs to start painting his, like, game out. I think that sometimes what ends up happening is people get to the final 2 and then they can't explain people's game. And so if it's only a game of like, oh, I rode my alliance to the end, no one's going to give them the money. So maybe cleaning up your act is like figuring out what you maneuvered and start really like painting your winner story in the eyes of your other players.
Exactly. I see this. I don't know. I see a close. I don't know.
That is better. That card is a better card, in my opinion, than both of those kings.
Yeah.
So maybe Enzo and Tyler are final 2. Maybe Franzel is...
I see Tyler in final 2.
Is final... Nicole Franzel is final 3. Whoa.
We're gonna have
deal. These are big deals.
For our next podcast that we do next week, we're going to have to like go over this and be like, okay, breaking down where we had everyone located in the list.
Yes.
like from first out, etc.
For sure. It's perfect. Okay, who's next? Danny?
Keisha.
Yeah.
But should we do...
Let's do Keisha last.
Okay. Danny. Yeah, I love her. Wait, we haven't done...
What?
Keisha or Janelle.
But those are their earlier seasons.
Oh, yeah. So we're just going to keep going. Okay. Sorry.
So Danny's 8. Season 8, remember? And they're 7-6.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Okay, so Danny is a Leo. She definitely is a Leo. Leos usually have really great hair, and she has great hair.
Great hair.
They're a fire sign. They like all the attention. They like all the applause. They are usually... She definitely likes the attention, and I think that her jealousy over Janelle stems from the fact that she wants to be the ultimate Big Brother player. She wants to have all the accolades. Anytime Janelle has been in the spotlight, especially when she's in that star costume, she just had a snarl on her face, and she's been actively trying to get Janelle out on the feeds. Janelle wants to work with Danny. Janelle has never said anything negative about Danny. Like, she's always been like, I love that girl. I love Danny. Like comforting Danny when she was crying. And so I think that part of her Leo lion qualities is that she feels as though when Janelle's around, she's in the shade and she's the sun. Leo is ruled by the sun. She doesn't want to be in the shade. So,
you know, this also comes back to her season 8 with her dad, Evil Dick. And everything you just said is exactly how she's feeling. She wants to get out of her dad's shadow. She wants her own season. She wants to be recognized as a good player and show it that she doesn't need her dad, you know? And I think that this is her time to shine and actually use that. And all of her, like, social skills, comp skills. She just needs to keep her bitch off a little bit because she can pull her bitch on so easily and sound condescending.
And she gets people, though. She gets to gossip with people in a way that she makes friends with it, though. She's very good at bad-mouthing people and still having people not target her, which is interesting.
And being like, you get it, right? And they're like, yes. And you're like, okay, this isn't talking
Well,
shit.
it's because she's still the cool kid, right? She's still the popular. She's still the mean girl. She kind of got upset a little bit when David said that she was mean and called her out a little bit, and she cried. And she's like, well, I've always been called the mean girl. And it's like, well, because you can be. You are.
You are. I mean,
I
like far from the tree.
I like Dani more preseason. I was rooting for her more, but how she's playing this game, I'm not really enjoying her right now, and I'm really upset. I really wanted her to be like strong women. I wanted her, Devon, Janelle to work together. And Bae?
And Bae. I wanted them with like...
I didn't think that Bae was going to be included in that. I wanted Devon, Janelle, and Dani to all work together. I thought that would have been a really strong force. But already, you know, Dani is working with all the cis white people, and on the periphery she does have Devon, but like that's like her side chick, you know what I mean? Like she's not her
even tweeted that. Since I don't know if everyone knows, they do have an iPad in the DR where they can tweet. Obviously it's cleared by production and they're only allowed a certain amount of letters, etc., etc. But Dani expressed her final four being Cody, Enzo, Nicole F, with Devon on the side. She literally wrote, and Devon on the side.
So, anyways, I'm just kind of disappointed in just, I guess, Dani's Leo-ness coming to the forefront and not allowing her to be a better game player right now. I don't know. Well, we're going to see soon how it's going to do for her. Well, it's going to do for her. She might go pretty far, but I'm not enjoying her game, unfortunately. From her game so far, she's not like Janelle is not playing very well, but I think that she's still, her legacy is still better than what Dani is accruing within this season. I don't think that she will overcome. Even with a win, I don't think that she will be legendary status like Janelle.
No one honestly can get to Janelle status. Janelle could fuck up royally this season and still be known as one of the greats. I mean, I honestly think that's just how it is.
It is.
With how it is, I mean.
Okay, so the card I pulled, it says, don't talk to anyone. Don't look at anyone. You need some fucking time alone, and you know why.
Right?
She does need some time alone. She's, honestly, she needs to really get it together because she's focusing so much on Janelle. When Janelle's not coming for her, she's focusing on these guys when, like, they're going to start okay, so say they get rid of Nicole Anthony this week, second girl. Then they get rid of Janelle next week, third girl. So now it's going to be what? It's going to be 8 guys to 5 girls. Then you're definitely going to start having a really imbalance in numbers. Like, they're going to come for you. The girls are going to be outnumbered, and they're allowing this to happen. And so I think that she needs to have some time alone to reassess what's going on. I think that she's misguided in her jealousy of Janelle, and it's not boding well.
And it is, because it goes from when I think back, they're 2 of the strongest women players I can think of. So I think a lot of it comes from them being Dani and Janie. You know, like, everyone knows them on Big Brother. I mean, bring in a Rachel Riley also, but Rachel's really not even that good. She was kind of handed that win by production in 13. But Danielle and Janelle, which, I mean, of course their names sound alike, they're known as like 2 of the best players. So I do see that jealousy, though. Like, I get it. Because she's...
But it's like, Janelle's just not even jealous, though. Janelle, like, always wants to work with all the other women. She's just like,
That's very true.
And it's just so frustrating that people are painting her with a brush that's not her. It's not her at all. And so, yeah, I think Dani has to reassess her strategy. Okay, so what's her card?
I was going to say, Janelle's just so unbothered. Okay, cut it.
4. And then don't look at anyone for this card too. It's like, stop looking at Janelle and thinking that, that you're less than or not as great as. Was this the Star?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good card. The Star is also Aquarius, just in case you cared.
So putting your emotions from 13 and 8 down, getting rid of those emotions, trying to be powerful.
But it's also an epiphany. It's also coming out from the tower, after the tower collapses, coming out on top, coming out as victorious. That's a pretty good card too.
You know, it's rough. I could have put Janie in top 3 with this card, but I feel like I'm already top 3.
Hold on. I think then, so Enzo had the 9 of Cups. I think that Danny might be in the final 2. If Danny's in the final 2 with Enzo or Tyler, I think that she would win.
It depends how the rest of their game. I think she'd win over Tyler. With Enzo, depends on how his game goes this season. If he wins comps, if he actually takes control and is recognized for his control, rather than how he was in season 12, where he was kind of like the forgotten one that created the brigade.
Mm-hmm. I'm putting this as, that's a final 2 card for me.
I see it. I see her pouring out 13 and 8 right there with the emotions.
And like having that shining moment.
That powerful, it's here. This is all of your past right here. I mean,
it's a good card.
For her, this makes sense.
Well, and also like if the tower is before, and like I think the whole game is the tower here, and at the end coming out victorious. This is definitely a final 2 card or a winning card.
Well, with the tower also coming before, so people aren't under. In the tarot, the tower card is technically just before this one when reading. I know you guys didn't see the tower card per se, but that's also her emotion with her dad and how they have that big brother thing together, and she's kind of the forgotten one. So just to make it more literal also for people watching.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, it's a pretty good pull for her. She needs to just stop being jealous, like get her game like in check and not like so petty. She's just such a petty player right now. I know she's petty in general usually, but like she needs to not be that petty, and she needs to focus properly on not getting out people that aren't coming for her. Janelle isn't coming for her. Devon isn't coming for her.
Those boys for you.
Those boys might come for her because she's quite influential, and if they're not on the same page, they might be like, let's just get rid of her. Exactly. I can see them turning on her in a second. So she needs to, I think, reassess her game. But that combination, that's a final 2 combination in my eyes.
Oh, that was a good card for her. That makes me happy.
Star. I mean, she's on my draft team, so I'll take it. Star, and don't talk.
And we have, who are we missing?
So Keisha and Janelle is left, and Keisha, correct?
Yep. So let's go through these quickly.
Okay.
No one's out. If you guys are still watching,
I love you.
2.5 hours. We love you.
It's not 2.5. We didn't. Oh, is it really? We stopped a bit. Should I break it up into a couple parts? No, whatever. Watch, don't watch. Watch in parts. Okay, so we have Kaser. What up, Kaser? Kaser is a Leo. Like
Leo. Of course he is.
Well, like people have been bothered so far by his Leo-ness, and that's because he is proud. He does like having the attention, kind of like Danny. And Danny doesn't like the fact that he's getting attention. And so, this is part of the plight of a Leo, is that, in their gregariousness and they wanting to be on the stage, that they have some people that might not be appreciative. Exactly. The lion, they roar. They step in front. They're ready to be on stage. And,
something with Leos also is they're very generous people. While they're boisterous and need attention, they're kind, they're generous. They are boisterous while looking out for those that they love a lot. which honestly screams Kesar to me. Kesar.
Hey, sir. And it got another one. Again, you're the shit. Don't forget it. That's a good card for
Okay.
Kesar.
That's it for Keisha. That's all we need. How many times do you want me to cut this?
2.
The moon. I don't know.
Well, the moon talks about it's the emotions and things that are hidden, things that you can't fully see. And so this might be saying to me that his ego might not allow him to see what's really going on, and that, yes, he is the shit, but that doesn't mean that there isn't stuff that's happening that he doesn't see or doesn't understand or doesn't know. So this is a very bad combination, I would say, for him.
So the way I'm saying it, obviously emotions with the scorpion right here, the lobster, whatever it is, but that's kind of like the part of you that's behind and wants to attack. But then you have the justice, I see, and monetary love right here, and the path to it with also I'm doing these kind of literally, his past 2 seasons right here, and he can try to get there, but it's more just like an attempt.
He's not getting very far.
Yeah. It's the howling, it's the justice, the money with the emotions behind, but he's not getting there. Soon. He's not getting there. I would say 3rd out, maybe.
Yeah, that's where I put him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Or maybe that's the 3 right here.
The three dogs, or whatever. No, the 2 dogs and the scorpion, or the 3 out.
The justice, the money, and kind of like that. I'm gonna get you. But
yeah, the path is definitely
the emotions. He can't get people too much because he cares about them.
Yeah, his ego is his Leo-ness is gonna get in the way of him getting further along.
I even take this as his ego being so large over season 6, season 7.
Yikes! All right. Damn it. Okay, and then we have our girl, Janie Capricorn, as we talked about, very, strong-willed, very work hard, no stop in her, like, is willing to be the leader, is willing to go charge forward. Like, they are ready to step in that role, and that's who Janie is. I think that's what we love about her, is that she's gorgeous, but then she's also so willing to take all the bullets. Like, she'll take the beating. Like, she will allow people to treat her terribly and pretend like she'll stand in front of somebody else. You know what I mean?
Like, be exactly. Like, yeah, whatever. I don't care. I'm wearing my Louboutins. I have my hair done with my Japanese.
Her hair's so good.
Makeup.
Her hair is just phenomenal.
The only way I know she ages is because she has 3 kids now. Otherwise, I can't tell.
No, I mean, she looks a little bit older, but like only because she probably gained maybe 10 more pounds. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only reason why she looks a little bit older.
25.
I think she looks beautiful.
Right? Okay.
Right?
Right.
I mean, okay, what do you got for shit? Okay, I'll do me first. Hold on. Let's have a good card for Janelle, please. Okay. Oh, 2 cards. Okay. Aw, you need a good fucking cry. Get that ugly cry on. Let that shit go. Your soul will thank you. She does need to have a good cry because she doesn't cry. So maybe she needs to release some emotions. And then it's just like this symbol. It's like, figure shit out on your own. And you know what? This is actually really good she needs to start figuring shit out on her own, because she's listening to other people and allowing other people to give a narrative that is untrue. You know, the fact that Davon was saying that she was going to be voting for Keisha, like, that was not true. Like, she needs to start looking more so of the facts that she's been receiving, and she needs to figure it out.
I agree.
She's effed. She's effed.
How many times do you want me to cut?
2.
Oh my God, the deck got weird. 4 of Cups.
Mm.
I know.
So 4 Cups, when I see that card, I generally think it's missing an opportunity, missing a gift, missing a gift from the universe. And so with this card saying figure it out, I think that she's missing the truth, which is going to be missing the win in this game.
This right here is like her history attempting to give her the attempt, and it's the like, to make it literal again, the other seasons bringing up the emotion. I mean, come on, make it literal for people here. It's her, you know, green, which is attempt for money, attempt for like good. She's sitting on a powerful tree.
Mm-hmm. But she's not seeing the sign. She's not recognizing the gifts. She's not recognizing the opportunity. She doesn't see it. She doesn't see it. So where do you think that's going to place her? Is she out next week? No, I think
fifth out. I'm saying fifth.
Okay, so let's move these all up. So I think this week is going to be who's going to happen this week? Do you think that they are going to backdoor her? You think no? David's staying.
Oh,
the big alliance wants David to stay. So Nicole Anthony, I guess. What was her card? She got a shitty card, right?
No, it was
2 of Pentacles.
So yeah.
I'm going to put her out next, to be honest. Then I'm going to put Janelle. Then I'm going to put Keisha. Then Memphis. It's going to be all the old people. Then Ian, Kevin. Okay, let's just do our last little read then. Oh, I just don't even want to talk. What? Yeah, on Keisha. I don't even want to touch the Janelle thing because I think that she's getting so much misinformation. They're giving her so much more credit for being deceitful and nasty and horrible than she deserves. Like, she hasn't done anything. She's going up and trying to save Nicole at detriment to her game. And Nicole Anthony thinks that she's been lying to her. I'm just like, Janelle would fight for you. Janelle would use the veto on you. Janelle is going to basically leave this game because she's fighting so hard to keep you, and you are
Janelle takes a breath, and everyone's like, first of all, how dare she?
Does everybody else need to breathe
what
too?
do you think she talked about in that one breath? Like, come on.
So it's so infuriating. Hopefully production will step in and help her out. Maybe that's the gift. Maybe the gift is going to be from production giving her a secret power. Because there's all those doors and those rooms and stuff like that. It's supposed to be on this season. So maybe the gift is going to be from production stepping in.
I can see that. If they pull a Rachel Riley Pandora box.
Because if you saw in the feeds, Janelle did say something about, she asked production, if I get voted out like first or second, will I? Yeah, and they said mid-September. But Keisha went home. So do you think it's just because that's like just a Janelle clause?
Keisha didn't go home. Keisha is in her same Airbnb she was in prior to the season beginning.
Okay, fair. She's going to have to quarantine before she goes home, most likely. But my question, though, with that is she's done a few interviews, and they didn't say that you can't talk about this, you can't talk about that. So how would there be a battle back then if she's been given some outside information?
What I read and took was that all of the questions were screened before. They weren't allowed to ask certain information. And kind of go from there. It was more, everyone had to submit their questions. It had to be okay by production. So they could always pull, like when Victor and 18 came back, didn't they not prepare us? It was kind of just random.
I don't remember, but
because we assumed, because we heard like through like Evil Dick or something that Glenn was in quarantine.
I'm gonna find out from my source to see whether or not she's quarantined or not. I'll find out for you guys.
You tell me.
I will. Okay, so I didn't write down when Keisha's birthday was. Oh, she obviously is a Leo. Keisha's birthday. We know about Keisha's birthday.
August 1st?
kind of like Danielle, kind of like Kaser, in the sense that they are willing to be in the spotlight. I think that she became a timid lion this particular week. I think it's because of the age thing. I think that the difference within this game, as opposed to the game that she played, it does move faster in the beginning. And I don't think that her, Janelle, and Kaser, none of them really realized that people are making these huge alliances. I think Janelle still thinks that everybody's playing on their own, and there's only like that foursome that she kind of saw. I don't think she realizes that there actually are other major alliances that she's contending with. And I think that that's also what was the detriment to Keisha's game, was the fact that she didn't want to go up and talk to the head of household and didn't want to, like,
it was so horrible to watch. Like,
yeah,
you're on all stars, get it together.
But, like,
running your Twitter account is way better than you right now.
Well,
all right, let's pull cards. Let's get this party going, because I bet if people are watching this, if you guys are still watching this at this time, tag us on Twitter, and I will personally send you
a cameo.
I will send you a Raven cameo.
But what did you actually say? You'd send them a what?
Bouquet of flowers. But I'd rather send them a Raven cameo.
Okay, so
Nicole Quasney, if you're watching.
This says, take a fucking trip. It says, go see some shit, do some new things, talk to people, and something your ass.
Poor Keisha, she literally took a trip to her quarantine house.
Oh, talk to people cooler than you. So, yes, I think that this definitely shows that she's not winning the game. She's definitely out of the game right now. It's telling her to take a trip out of the house, basically. What card you got for her?
Cut.
Once.
How many? Once? Two of Swords.
So that's a decision-making card as well. It's usually guarding your heart with your thoughts. From your thoughts, there's turbulent emotions. Kind of, was it turbulent in this card? Not really, but you know, your emotions are behind you. Yeah. But I think that what's it saying about her game is that she overthought the situation and didn't allow herself to connect with all these people to make them want to keep her. If she had just hung out with the boys, flirted with them a little bit, like, just because you're older doesn't mean that you can't have the guys be like wanting to keep you.
That's nothing.
I know, I'm older than Keisha. Like,
girl, you're like 17 years old.
But still, though, like, I would be flirting with those boys like nobody's business. Anyways, I think that she needed to use a little bit more of her heart and her emotions a little bit more in connecting with people, as opposed to overthinking the situation as to, like, oh, I don't want to talk to them too soon. I don't want to come across this. I don't want to come across that. It's like, do you know what? How about just come across as someone that they like?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Just make them like you. Because if they like you, it's going to be a lot harder for them to put you up on the block. If they don't know you and don't care about your opinions or your feelings, they're going to put you on the block. They made better connections with people. And so that's why she's taking a trip.
This card makes a lot of sense to me for the first one out. They're blind.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They don't see what's coming. They let their thoughts get in the way of what's
coming, because they have their back to the ocean, to whatever's happening. Everything is behind them. They're just like,
and everybody behind them are making emotional connections that she's just not a part of at all.
Yeah, and those could be all of the rocks and islands there.
She doesn't care, or she didn't care, even though she does care, but she doesn't care enough to save her game. Anyways, that was pretty good, though. So, let me just lastly, to whomever's still here or broke this up into chunks, Andrew. Hi, Andrew.
I will go ahead, and if you're still here, tag us both on Twitter, and I will get you a cameo from Raven. I'm not kidding.
What if like 5 people do it?
Then I'm totally spending $50 each for Raven cameos.
No. I mean, do whatever you want, but that's crazy talk.
I promise you, if you tag both of us on Twitter saying that this was an amazing podcast,
then maybe you'll do a draw for cameo. Okay. If you want to give each a $50 cameo, that's how much Ravens was, $50?
15.
Oh, okay, 15 is not that bad. Okay, I thought it was 50. I was like, it's a little
tag
bit.
us both, if you guys made it through, tag both of our Twitters, say that you loved our tarot readings, and I will get you a cameo from Raven.
Okay, so let's just go through what we think our boot list is as of this week. So obviously Keisha's out now. I personally think that David is going to go out this week because Nicole is going to go out this week because David is going to be saved by the main alliance. Because of what Memphis did, it seems as though they all want to keep him. So Danny wants to keep him. Cody wants to keep him. Tyler and him have a little bit of an alliance going. So I think that Nicole's going to go out this week. Then are we saying that Janelle's out next? Oh my God. And then Kaser. Oh my God.
I hope not.
This is terrible. And then Memphis.
I hope we can pull
Ian.
cards in a week. I hope we can pull cards in a week and it's completely different.
I know. This is what's happening right now, but anything can change. People have their free will. This is just one potential trajectory that could happen out of the infinite possibilities. So this is just one possibility. So who else does we have next? So Kevin was going to be out in 10th place. Who do we have in 9th? So we have winning or final 2 is going to be Enzo and Danny. Tyler is going to be 3rd. Nicole Franzel is in 4th. Who else do we have that we're doing decently? Christmas. Where did we say we were putting Christmas?
I feel like I saw her in 4th.
Jury.
Yeah.
4th? Well, 5th. 5th. I think 5th.
Yeah, looks like
Nicole Franzel's going to do better than Christmas, I think. Okay, Christmas. Then Cody's in 6th. 7th was going to be like Bailey or Day. Who was better? Bailey was doing pretty well, but let's put Bailey in 7th.
I'll put Bailey in 1st always.
Davon probably in 8th. What's 9th and 10th? Who are we missing? Memphis, Keisha, Tyler's up there, Enzo's up there. David's probably going to go out. I'll say 10th.
Like yesterday.
And one last person. Is that Ian? No, Ian, Sarah, Bailey. Who are we missing? Okay, so we have
Danny.
Sorry? I have Danny.
Oh.
So I have Enzo first, or Enzo, Danny, Tyler, Nicole F, Christmas, Cody, Bailey, Davon, somebody.
Kevin. Oh.
When? Kevin, Ian, Memphis, Keisha, Janelle, Nicole, and Keisha. Who are we missing? Oh, wait, no, that's right. Cody, did we say Cody? Yeah. Okay, Memphis. Memphis is 12th. Nicole Franzel is 4th. Cody is 6th. Danny is 1st or 2nd. Tyler is 3rd-ish. Enzo is 1st or 2nd. David is 10th. Janelle is 14th. Nicole A is 15th. Kaser is 13th. Bailey is 7th. Davon is 8th. Kevin is 10th. Oh, I see what I did. Okay, so David is going to be 9th and Kevin will be 10th. I had them in the same row. Okay, I'm gonna put this this is still a guess because we're kind of deciding what the cards mean and what order that's going to place them in.
This is our first attempt, guys. Give us
we're going to see more about how things go, and then maybe we'll start to understand how the cards are talking to us, because you kind of have to develop a relationship with the cards, with the player, and the game that you're playing, just to start being able to understand what that means. Because you'd be like, okay, so when we got the ba-ba-ba, that actually meant that da-da-da-da-da. And so we'll understand how to read the cards a little bit better, so our predictions will get more precise as we move through the weeks. Obviously, because we'll be gaining more information, we'll be able to have better predictions. So this list might change a little bit. We'll see how it does, but this is our first attempt. So what did you think, Nicole? I thought it was pretty fun.
Good. I feel like we actually got really good predictions.
Yeah, the order I don't know for sure, but yes. I think
and again, as a reminder, the way people do tarot readings are in a sequence. I mean, you start from beginning to end normally. So if we see one card this week and it comes up a different card next week, it could make sense with how their journey is going through the house. So I want people to remember that rather than getting stuck on, well, they pulled this card, this is going to be the way it is. It's a journey.
Absolutely. It is a journey. And it's been a fun journey. I'm excited to see how we can develop this segment and make it like really effective and efficient. Like if we should do like a deep dive per player and map out their entire game week by week. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure how we can work this out, but I'm happy to play around. Yeah, it was fun. Well, so where can people find you online? You talked about Twitter. If you're watching this right now, you wanted to find Nicole's Twitter so you can get that cameo from Raven. What's your Twitter?
At Nicole Quas, NICOLEQUAS.
Is that the only place you want people to find you, is the Twitter?
Yeah, I mean, that's like my Big Brother area. I don't need to give like my, if you want to find me on Instagram, it's literally the same name, but you can find anything exciting there.
So for Instagram, I'm usually at ShanFranFran or at Reality Realness with 3 S's. On Twitter, I'm at Shan___Fran, or I'm at Reality Realness without the E, but 3 S's, because I just was short a character, so I pulled out the E, but I left the 3 S's. And, you know, on Instagram, you can find all my links to everything. You can find me. I'm findable. And hopefully someone's going to get an amazing cameo from Miss Raven.
I hope it's like 10 of you, because I 100% will buy you all Raven cameos.
That's so fun. And maybe we'll like every week we'll like present the cameo to someone on Reality Realness. Who knows? Anything. The world's our oyster. Well, I'm happy you guys hung out with us. Make sure you subscribe right down below, please. Ring the bell so you can be notified every time we have a new episode. And then obviously like this if you like kind of where we're going down this avenue of tarot. And what do you want us to ask? What kind of questions do you want us to ask the cards? Let us know in the comments or on one of our social media contacts. And we will do our best to answer them next week. So have a great day. Ciao.
Love y'all.
Bye.